You know that feeling, right? You're in a brainstorming session, everyone's throwing ideas around, but nothing's sticking. You're trying so hard to innovate, but it feels like you're just waiting for lightning to strike. Well, what if I told you that innovation isn't about luck at all? What if it was actually a science? Today, we're going to dive into a framework that does exactly that.
But before we get to the solution, we've got to talk about the real problem with how we solve problems. We all face these huge challenges, right? But the tools we usually reach for can be, well, kind of useless.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got brainstorming. It's totally random, a complete hit or miss, and honestly, super inefficient most of the time. But on the other side, there's a totally different approach, systematic innovation. It's structured, it's repeatable, and believe it or not, it's scientific. Our whole goal here is to help you get from the chaos on the left to the incredible clarity on the right.
So, what's really holding us back? It boils down to this one big concept: psychological inertia. Think of it like this mental gravity that's always pulling us back to what we already know. It's that little voice in your head whispering, but we've always done it this way. And it's the number one killer of breakthrough ideas.
This quote just nails the feeling, right? That sense of just wandering around in the dark, hoping you get lucky and trip over the right answer. It's so uncertain and inefficient, and frankly, a little terrifying. But what if you had a map?
And that is exactly where TRIZ comes in. If typical brainstorming is being lost in that dark forest, TRIZ is your high-def map and your GPS, guiding you straight to where you need to go. It's the tool that turns the art of innovation into a real science.
Okay, so what in the world is TRIZ? It stands for the Theory of Inventive Problem Solving. Now, the main thing you need to get is that this is a systematic, data-driven method. This isn't about gut feelings or some random flash of inspiration. No, it's a reproducible science built on finding predictable patterns in the world's most successful inventions.
All right, now that we know what it is, let's get to the main event. We're going to break down the 5 key reasons why learning TRIZ could be a complete game changer for you.
So let's kick things off with the first and maybe the most fundamental benefit of them all.
It's this. TRIZ completely transforms innovation into a systematic science. It gives you a structured, repeatable process. It takes innovation out of the realm of, just pure luck, like a random bolt of lightning, and turns it into something you can actually do on demand by following specific rules to get powerful, predictable results. Now for benefit number 2. And honestly, this one is where the TRIZ mindset starts to feel like a superpower, because it completely goes against everything we're taught about how to solve problems. We see this everywhere, right? The trade-off. We want a car that's faster, but the compromise is it gets heavier and less fuel efficient. We want to improve one thing, but something else gets worse. Traditional problem solving is literally built on just accepting these compromises. But TRIZ has this radically different view. It says that trade-offs, or what it calls contradictions, aren't something you manage. They're the enemy, the thing you have to eliminate entirely. TRIZ just flat out refuses to accept that you have to choose between 2 good things. Instead, the goal is always what's called the ideal final result. That means a system that delivers all of the good stuff with absolutely zero bad stuff. Sounds impossible, I know, but TRIZ gives you a whole toolkit to get there, including its famous 40 inventive principles. For instance, the principle of segmentation just suggests breaking something into independent parts. It's the simple genius behind folding bikes or modular furniture. These tools are literally designed to help you find that impossible solution. So how on earth does it do that? Well, that question leads us right into benefit number 3, which is all about incredible efficiency. It's because TRIZ stops you from reinventing the wheel. The whole thing is built on this really simple but profound idea. Someone, somewhere, has probably already solved your exact problem, or at least a version of it. So it's about tapping into the world's collective genius, instead of starting from zero every single time. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. The people who created TRIZ analyzed millions of patents and boiled all that knowledge down into a database of over 2,500 general repeating patterns for solutions. It's basically an innovation cheat sheet. So how do you use this cheat sheet? You follow this really elegant 4-step process. First, you define your specific problem, right? Then, you figure out how to describe it as a generic problem type that TRIZ recognizes. Third, you look up the proven generic solution in that massive database. And finally, you adapt that powerful solution back to your specific situation. No more reinventing the wheel. It's that simple. Okay, benefit number 4. Now, this one is a massive game changer for anybody working in a competitive industry. We're talking about strategy. We're talking about intellectual property. TRIZ gives you this huge strategic edge. On the defensive side, you can use its principles to make your own patents so strong they're basically unhackable. And on offense, you can figure out how to get around your competitors' patents completely legally. Like, imagine a rival has a patent on a process that uses heat. You might use a TRIZ principle like phase transition to figure out you can get an even better result using freezing instead. Boom, you've got a whole new non-infringing patent of your own. And that brings us to our 5th and final benefit, and it's a big one. It's incredible versatility. Now, you may be thinking, okay, this all sounds really technical, like it's just for rocket scientists. And yeah, TRIZ did start in engineering, but its principles are now being used everywhere. I mean, look at this. We're seeing it in software, financial services, healthcare, even local government. And why is that? It's because the core logic of solving these tough contradictions is a universal challenge.
And this is why this all matters for you. Learning a framework like TRIZ isn't just about solving one little problem on your next project. It's about totally rewiring how you think. It establishes you as that go-to person who can solve the unsolvable problems no matter what field you're in.
So we've walked through the 5 big reasons to get out of that dark forest of brainstorming and get on the clear path of systematic innovation. But now I want to turn this around and put it back on you. Think about your own work, your own life. What's that one problem that everyone just accepts? The trade-off you're told you just have to live with? What if that's not true? What if with the right tools you could just eliminate it completely? That is the challenge and the promise of TRIZ.